Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. This is the news at 10, a reminder of our major stories tonight. Senate threatens to boycott sittings over delayed rerun election in Rivers State, gives INEC December 10th deadline to conduct the poll. Doctors in Bayelsa State take to the streets in protest over unpaid salaries as medical workers at Irua Specialist Teaching Hospital, Edo State, declare industrial action. Federal government approves provisional licenses for 8 new universities in the country. And South African government releases report indicting it of undue influence in political appointments as citizens demand the sacking of President Jacob Zuma. To remember all our top stories you can find on our websites, channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on a mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Besides the news and updates, the Channels TV app has an eyewitness feature. We encourage you to use it to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Let's take a look at some of the pictures you sent in the Eyewitness Portal. We begin with this one. It was sent in from Ayaogolo Avenue in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. We can see the aftermath of heavy rains. Our eyewitness reporter calls on the government to clear blocked drains to avoid situations like this. We have a similar photo, but this time coming from Ayelara Street in Idiaraba area of Lagos State. It shows a commercial motorcycle rider and his passenger moving through floodwaters. Our next photo shows traffic jam along the Kefi-Abuja Road. Eyewitness reporter wants traffic regulatory agencies to help coordinate motorists, especially during rush hour. We'll end with this picture. We see the aftermath of a road accident involving 2 vehicles along Airport Road, Abuja. Our eyewitness reporter calls on motorists to adhere to speed limits on all highways. We have more now on the Senate and the Petroleum Industry Bill, which passed second reading in the upper legislative chamber today. The Senate threatened to suspend their sittings if the bill, which looks at the PIB, is the first of 5-part bill, which looks at the governance and institutional framework for the petroleum industry. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Omotayo Alasha-Adura, says the bill was split into 5 parts to avoid the controversies which affected its passage in previous assemblies.
At the resumption of the 8th Assembly, federal lawmakers in the Senate identified the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill as a key part of the legislative agenda of the upper chamber. More than a year into the 8th Senate, the Petroleum Industry Bill is coming up for second reading in the upper chamber. This is coming a few days after the Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, said the executive is in the process of completing a draft petroleum reform bill, which will be passed to the National Assembly in a matter of weeks.
Thank you.
In the meantime, the Senate is going ahead with the process of working on legislation to reform the petroleum sector.
To report progress, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
The sponsor of the Petroleum Industry Bill before the Senate says the bill seeks to create efficient institutions with clear and separate roles for the petroleum industry. The bill also proposes the unbundling of the NNPC into 2 commercial entities.
That is, the National Petroleum Company and the National Assets Management Company. And E, ensuring strong governance, transparency and accountability in all institutions.
There was a brief debate on the bill.
All the petroleum producing countries that we know, almost all of them, have robust, efficient and effective legislations guiding the operations within the individual countries' petroleum industry. And this has been playing to their advantage. Each country, it has been playing to its advantage, but Nigeria has become an exception.
It is very timely indeed that we bring in a model of running the organizations within the petroleum industry that meets international standards, rather than this confused picture of joint venture business as defined by the JV agreements.
The bill passed second reading and was referred to the Senate Committee on Petroleum Upstream and Downstream for further legislative work. The committees are to work on this first part of the bill passed and report back to the Senate in 4 weeks. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
The Ogun State workers have agreed to suspend their 2-week industrial action over non-payment of deductions and other demands by the state workforce. This was the outcome of a closed-door meeting which lasted about 9 hours between the national and state leaders of the organized labor and the Ogun State government. Addressing journalists after the meeting held at the governor's office in Abeokuta, the state capital, the state governor reiterated the commitment of his administration towards better conditions of service for the state workforce. In his own submission, the national president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, commended the two sides for the maturity which led to the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding aimed at resolving the impasse.
Our belief is that peace will return, and our belief is also that together, both the employer and government and employee will work together assiduously to try to drive the process of development and put all of these things behind us. Our belief is that both the employer and the employee are members of one family, and therefore those issues do arise. And once they arise, it can only be addressed properly on a negotiating table.
All of those issues, areas, I've told them on my honor, they just sign, we'll keep to it. Whatever we said we will do, we'll keep to it. We will do it. We've been doing it. Indeed, we sleepless nights. From maybe 15, 18, nobody sleeps, particularly about 4 or 5 of us that are commissioners that are directly responsible for things like this. So we'll continue to do that. It's our interest to do it. The other one I've told them, of course, they are totally different things. The one that I know is structured, it is, oh, you are owing us this, you are owing us that. We have shown them our books. They've seen it, and anybody can see. It is not my creation. This thing, nobody knows that this is where we find ourselves. So we will continue to do our bit as a government.
I'm putting you now in the hands of Gloria Omezoke, who's in Abuja. She has more on the news at 10. Hi, Gloria.
Hello, Amarachi. We begin with the judiciary, and the Federal High Court, sitting in Lagos, has refused to order the forfeiture of the $15.5 million found in the accounts of companies belonging to Aripamo Dudafa, a former aide to ex-President Goodluck Jonathan. Presiding Justice Babs Kuwemi convicted the companies after a review of the facts of the case presented by the counsel to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Rotimi Oyedepo. Following the conviction of the companies, Mr. Oyedepo urged the court to order the forfeiture of the money to the federal government. A wife of former President Goodluck Jonathan, Patience Jonathan, had laid claims to the monies in the company's accounts. Meanwhile, the former Chief of Defense Staff, Alex Badeh, has been rearraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja. At the hearing today, the 8th prosecution witness told Justice Okon Abang how Mr. Badeh laundered funds removed from the accounts of the Nigerian Air Force using 4 different accounts operating in the name of Iyalikam Nigeria Limited. A cross-examination by Badeh's counsel, Mr. Akin Olujimi, revealed that he was a signatory to Iyalikam Nigeria Limited and that the witness received instructions to transfer funds to various accounts. The matter has been adjourned to November the 3rd, 2016 for further cross-examination. Mr. Badeh is being prosecuted by the EFCC alongside his company, Iyalikam Nigeria Limited, for allegedly abusing his office by using money meant for the Nigerian Air Force to buy properties in choice areas of Abuja between January and December 2013. Well, the president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Zainab Bolkachua, has constituted a fresh panel to handle all the appeals emanating from the legal tussle over the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State. The constitution of the new panel followed the withdrawal of the 3-member panel of justices of the Court of Appeal who bowed out of the cases following a petition written by a factional chairman of the PDP in the state, Prince B. Poroye. In a letter, Justice Bolkachua named Justice Ibrahim El Saulawa as chairman of the panel, Justices Ignatius Igwe Agube and Godwin Mbaba as members. The controversy trailing the $29.9 billion loan request by the president is yet to die down, as some members of the House of Representatives are also questioning the rationale for the borrowing. But just as their counterparts in the Senate, some lawmakers in the House are demanding details of the loan from the executive. Our correspondent, Lanre Lasisi, has the report.
It's an outcome many did not anticipate.
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. Nays have it.
Senators rejecting the request by President Muhammadu Buhari to borrow the sum of $29.9 billion to execute key infrastructural projects across the country. Lawmakers in the House of Representatives are yet to consider the president's request, but clearly some of the lawmakers have concerns about the loan.
Look, I do not support the action of borrowing, because this money is within some cabals and the multinational company. That is why I'm supporting Mr. President's effort, the war against corruption. Our money is in few hands, in the cabal's hand.
Looking at some of the indices, we thought that government should have been more meticulous in providing information that would have guided the National Assembly.
Some lawmakers say, despite the good intentions of the president, they have reservations about his team.
Like I tell you, the problem we are having, totality of Nigerians across party line believe in the integrity and good intention of the president. But truly speaking, as a member of the APC, truly speaking, I cannot vouch for all the people that surround Mr. President. I cannot vouch.
So will the president's request suffer the same fate in the House of Representatives as it did in the Senate?
Not suffer the same fate of the Senate, but we will proceed to ask for details. We will ask that we require definite positions and intended allocations.
If between now and tomorrow, whenever it comes to the floor of the House, we're furnished with this information, we may look a bit more kindly at it. But for as long as the information available is what the information is, then we may ask the same questions that the senators asked. And if that equates to it suffering the same fate, then, you know, it would be in the interest of Nigerians and we would have acted in the most patriotic way.
It's not yet clear when the House of Representatives will consider the request of the president, or if the House will go the way of the Senate by rejecting the loan request. This issue must, however, be resolved quickly, as it has implications for the 2017 budget, which is yet to be presented to the National Assembly by the executive. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Central Bank of Nigeria defends its stance on flexible foreign exchange policy. Well, that's in business news. Please join us again.